Good afternoon. We are sitting here today. This is Wendy Gaylor with the Chamber Vibes coming at you with Watts Creative Studio. And we have a special guest today, David Honaker with State Farm Insurance right here in Bedford. And we are so thrilled to have you. How are you, David?
I am fantastic, Wendy. Thank you for having me today. And it is an honor to be here at Watts Creative Studios. And I'm excited about being able to share State Farm and our business and just tell you a little bit about what we do.
Well, it is always a pleasure to see you and to talk with you and to find out what's new, what's going on in your world. And I tell you all the questions. The first question that I know everybody has on their mind right now is, what are you wearing?
Funny you should ask. I am actually wearing khakis today and a red State Farm a red State Farm golf shirt. So that's kind of my attire at least once or twice a week.
Well, and I know they are sitting on the edge of their seat excited to know that. And at least it's not like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And you are wearing the State Farm attire.
I am. And if my customers need me at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm available for them.
And see, I think that is wonderful. That's how great Bedford business is. The business owners here are here to serve, and you are one of the best leaders that we've got. So I want to get right into it. What do you do for fun?
Well, that's a good question. Let's see. I love to go to the lake every opportunity that I have, and try to enjoy fishing, enjoy boating when the time comes. Love spending time with my family. So my wife and I have 5 children. They range from 30 down to 14, and so we're very active. We try to spend as much time as a family as we can, get out, enjoy the outdoors, everything that this area has to offer, and play guitar a little bit, enjoy playing music and multiple instruments, and just really enjoy everything that this part of the state has to offer.
And so do you sing?
I do sing a little bit.
Did you write a jingle for State Farm just in your spare time?
I did not write a jingle, but I probably should.
And see, now you have that challenge. So when you come back next time, we need the new jingle. So
I'll work on that.
Okay, good. That's your assignment. So, there's a lot going on with COVID and, the whole pandemic. And I'm sure you guys have been busier than ever, taking calls and just, people trying to find out different needs that they have and making sure that they're insured, which is very, very important. You've been in business a long time, so you know what you're doing. You are an expert in your field. How many years have you been doing this?
I got my license in 1990, so that would be about going on 32 years right now. 32
years. So expert right here, David Honaker in Bedford. If you need insurance or need to update your insurance, David is the one to seek out and call, because, he focuses in on home and auto and life, correct?
Yes.
All right. And everybody has someone in their life that's important, and you want to make sure that you're insured to provide the means and the support that your family's going to need, right? I mean, that's so important. It doesn't matter what age you are, you need to be insured, and your items, your home and your automobiles need to be insured. So there's so many different things. I want to talk about rising home prices and increased consumer demand for homes affected. Has the rise in the home prices affected home insurance policies at all?
Sure. So with home insurance is always based on replacement costs. So with State Farm, we have 100% replacement costs. So if the home today is more valuable than it was 2 years ago, and typically it is, then we're going to base that upon replacement costs of the home. So State Farm is going to have a 100% guarantee that if you have a loss today, we're going to replace that home at today's cost. Today, labor costs are higher, material costs are higher, And of course, if we have a disaster that may wipe out multiple homes in a community or in an area and they're all insured with State Farm, then chances are really good that the cost of materials is going to be higher, the cost of labor is going to be higher because the demand is much higher. So you definitely want to have your home insured with a company like State Farm so that we can guarantee you 100% replacement costs on that home, even if it costs more than what it did 6 months ago.
And that's what people are interested in. They want to hear that. And considering future infrastructure investments in Virginia's broadband roads, a shift towards more remote work. I know we've got a lot of our companies that have employees that are remotely working. And do you expect an influx of people to move into rural areas, number one? And then do you believe it'll have an effect on insurance rates for the businesses?
Yeah, so as more and more people do work at home, their rates could change because there is more of a risk. And when you bring a business into a home, you typically want to have endorsements from State Farm to make sure that that risk is covered, the potential of something happening when you're representing another company. Things can change as far as the workman comp program that we also offer through State Farm. And there's definitely, I would suggest anyone that is working remotely to reach out to me so that I can go over the options that you have to make sure that you are protected, and might be an endorsement that we need to add to your policy. Very, very inexpensive, but most importantly, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing out of your home and whatever company you are representing, that you have adequate coverage as well.
Yeah, and so that's going to be important for the business and for the employee to make sure that they know that they're covered by either one, So they certainly seek you out for sure, David Honaker. Is there a difference between how you insure remote employees versus in person?
Yeah, again, it's the risk. So State Farm, our duty is to help you manage the risks of everyday life. And when these risks that we face every day, when they become reality, then we want to make sure that we're there to walk you through the process to make sure that everything is restored to what it was prior to that accident or injury or whatever whatever disaster could happen through a daily life. So, yeah, it's extremely important that you have the adequate coverage. Reach out to us whatever the risk may be, because we want to review every aspect of your policies and to make sure that whatever changes you have in your life, especially due to COVID, we want to make sure that your policies that we have you protected through are going to take care of any of these accidents and any of these risks that we can face every single day. And then we want to work you through it to make sure we'll restore you to where you were prior to that risk.
So, right, your job is to definitely mitigate the risk and make sure that each person is covered. And whenever there's changes made in, with work environment, seek you out for sure to make sure that those risks are mitigated. So, keeping on the business theme, let's talk about hospital income policies versus short-term disabilities and things like that. I know with COVID being so rampant right now, and it's very high in our area, that's on people's minds. That's important to them. Mitigating the risk. What do they need to do? What's available for coverage for them? So let's talk about that. Hospital income policies.
Yeah, so when people think of State Farm, they often think of homeowners insurance, they think of auto insurance, and they think of life insurance. Those are our big three. But this era that we live in right now, it is so incredibly important for all of our customers to have a hospital income policy, because we just don't know what tomorrow may bring. And with our hospital income policies, if you had to be hospitalized for COVID or any other type of sickness or an accident, State Farm is going to pay you a lump sum every single day that you're in the hospital. And that's going to help out with the extra medical bills. It could help out with the deductibles that you may have. It can help out with any extra expenses that you are going to accumulate while you're in the hospital. And that is paid directly to you. It's not paid to your insurance company. It's not paid to the hospital. That check is written directly to you from State Farm. And it is so inexpensive to have that protection. So I just want to encourage everyone to reach out to me. Let me send you out some information on our hospital income policies, because they are being utilized today really more than ever. And the low premium on these policies, honestly, you can use it one day and it can pay for the entire premium for the entire year. So it's one of the greatest policies that we offer through State Farm.
And the basic requirement, we were talking about this earlier, is you do need to be under the age of 60.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So the only two major requirements that, as far as underwriting, is, as you said, be under the age of 60, and then not be on full-term disability. So if you're currently on disability, then you don't qualify for this policy. But other than that, that's really it. So basically anyone can qualify for this policy, male or female. And again, the premium is so low that if you use it just one time, one day throughout the year, it can most likely pay for the entire premium for the whole year, just the one benefit that you're going to receive.
And those of you that are listening, this is what we call a huge nugget in this whole segment that we're talking about. If you didn't hear anything else, listen to the hospital income policy that David has that he can talk to you about to help mitigate risk. Now, on the same topic, let's flip the side and talk about short term, the differences. I know there's a waiting period for short-term disability.
Yeah, so with short-term disability, it's a totally different policy than the hospital income policy. So with the short-term disability, is you do have to be out of work for at least 30 days. So you can choose to have a 30-day waiting period before the policy kicks in and starts providing monetary benefits, or you can choose to have a 60-day waiting period. So obviously you're going to pay a little bit more in the premium to have the 30-day waiting period because it's going to kick in much quicker. But again, this can, our job is to not only protect you against auto accidents and homeowner claims and against life insurance claims, but we want to make sure that we protect your income as well. So if you do find yourself in a situation where either you're in the hospital for a certain period of time or you're unable to work for a certain period of time, we want to be able to provide income so you can take care of your family and still pay your mortgage and still pay your car payments and do the things that you did prior to that sickness and that the disability that took place. So we have policies that will pay you when you are disabled or unable to work for a certain period of time due to a sickness or illness, and it's going to help you to be able to maintain your standard of living and be able to take care of your family and do the things that you did prior to that sickness or illness.
And a lot of small businesses, they have these policies, and not a lot can they afford on their employees. So, it's important to be your best advocate and to talk to your agent on these things to make sure that you are covered. And so we thank you for being such a good educator on what is out there, what's available to help people in their time of need. And this is definitely a lot of needs out there right now. So for health.
And Wendy, can I add one thing to that?
Sure.
So you talk about employers. One of the advantages that we can offer you through State Farm is we will help anyone. It doesn't have to go through your employment. So there are companies out there where you have to go through your employer to get certain policies and certain protections. So State Farm will insure one person, will insure 10 people. And of course, they can be employees of a company, but we don't have any type of restrictions on how many people have these policies, especially the short-term disability and the long-term disability and the hospital income policy. So we can have one person, we can have 10 people. We have families that have this policy. I have a family that has over 10 children, and actually right at 10 children and one more on the way. So I have a family that soon will have 11 children, and they have all of their children on one policy covered. So it's really such an advantage to be able to help everyone despite their situation with or without their employer.
Yes, very, very important. And this is on people's minds right now is definitely the life insurance and making sure that they are covered. And disability is so important right now. And of course, now this hospital income policy is fantastic. So let's switch gears and talk a little bit about remote vehicles for fun. That's something that's very much innovative right now. And do you guys insure remote vehicles? And is it more expensive or less expensive?
Yeah, a really good question. Ironically, I was having a conversation with my neighbor recently, and he actually ordered a vehicle that does offer the self-driving remote options. And this is the first time he had one, as many of us. And he said that he wanted to put it to test, and he drove down a winding back road in Bedford, and he said he drove 5 miles, never touched the steering wheel.
Oh, gosh.
Of course, I'm sure he had some reluctancy about that being the first time. But the reality is these vehicles, as they become more and more advanced, they are definitely our future for driving. And the idea, and so far it seems to be true, is that they are going to be safer than a vehicle driven by you or me. So the insurance is going to be lower for vehicles as time moves along and they become more and more trusted in the community. And who knows, there may be a time in the not too far distant future where that's all that we have. As the price comes down and more people can afford them, that definitely may be what we all end up with one day. So absolutely, the rates will be lower for those types of vehicles because they have proven in a short period of time to be safer than a vehicle driven by you or me.
I can't wait until, because everything is going innovative and automated, and it's amazing. I want my car, I just want to be able to say, Alexa, start my car, and then, which already is out there, but Alexa, start my car and go get me some coffee. Bring it back. This is exciting.
Yeah.
It's coming, David. This is coming to our area one day soon. And you'll be there to ensure
I will be.
all of those needs. So exciting. Well, I hope to see you at one of our next events coming up. I know we have many events, but you're always out there, and we thank you for sponsoring different things that you do for us and just being such a great community builder for Bedford. And we're lucky to have you, and we'll look forward to doing more business together.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure to be at Watch Creative Studios, and always great to see Woody. So thank you for having me. Thanks for all that the Chamber of Commerce does, and for allowing me to be a part of this event here and every other one in the future.
Thanks again. Have a great day.
Thank you.